Welcome to the RDD Lab. So we are going to use Databricks as we have mentioned to write our Spark code. So in this lab, we are going to explore RDD. So you should have gotten access to the RDD Lab.dbc and to .txt and zipcode.csv. So let's get started. So once you get to your interface, you can click on workspace, right? So here, when you click on the down arrow, you can import a file. Okay, so I'm just going to drag and drop the RDD lab in here. So if it doesn't automatically open, just double click it. Okay, so this is your, so I'm just going to do a walkthrough of the RDD lab. This also has a couple of questions for you to do as part of the assignment. So this is a lab to explore the PySpark resilient distributed data set that we got introduced to. So in PySpark, you don't have to import a library because it is already cater in Databricks. You don't have to import the library. So SE already is the Spark context. Uh, so it's very similar to the Jupyter notebook. So you can just run it, right? So it automatically connects to the most recent cluster. So I already had a cluster running. If you this is the first time, you will get another pop-up saying attach a cluster and run. All right, so that is what you're expected to do. So this is your Spark context. So the program that we are writing is the driver program. All right. So under the hood, Spark is going to take care of dividing it into your DAG visuals, etc. So we'll see some of these examples. So the first example is just to create your first RDD, right? So we are creating a list of numbers, right? So if you just look at so my Python, so very similar to your Jupyter notebook, you can actually click on it and also say things like print type of my RDD. Okay, so I'll give you some time to explore these. How do you create these cells? And then very similar to, so if you want to create a markdown cell, you can go to Python and change it into markdown so that you can put in some, this is a markdown cell. Very similar to Jupyter notebook that you are all aware of. So then, once you have created, if I want to count, so this has 999, right? Because it starts at 1 and ends at 999. So this is an action. So we have seen transformation and action. So it immediately gets executed. So this is the Spark job, right? This is a fairly, so there aren't multiple steps to it. So you can go ahead and look at it, view it. So you see the DAG visualization of what's happening. Okay. So then you can also look at the top 10 elements. So you can do filter. A filter is a transformation. So if I want to just get all the even values from that RDD, all right. So and then I'm doing a count. So that's giving me 499, and I want to take a look at what are the elements that are there. All right. As we have seen, RDD is distributed data set. If you want to know the number of partitions that the RDD is split into, you can get using this attribute get number of partitions 8. So this is a numerical RDD, so you can get statistics on RDD, right? So here I'm asking for minimum, maximum, sum, variance, standard deviation, all of it. So here you see slightly longer, it takes slightly longer time, all right? So there are 5 Spark jobs that got sent because of the 5 different commands, right? So internally, it is sort of doing the uh, map the 8 different distributions and then aggregating all of it. All right. So of course, just to very quickly refresh, you can write your any function, right? So here I'm just writing a prime function. If it is prime, returning the number. So then I'm creating filtering the odd RDDs, and then doing on the RDD, I'm creating another filter for prime. Okay, so then that would sort of help me to look at all these prime numbers. Okay, so I'm looking only at the first 10. So then we are, so this is to just, so you can try, all of these functions on string, what are the string manipulation functions, etc. Get comfortable with PySpark. So now I'm going to go on to how do we access data, right? So if you go further down, so you have data, right? So you can create table, click on it. So you can upload file. So go ahead, upload your Hamlet and your zip code .csv, right? So once they are uploaded, then you can start referencing them, using them on your notebook. So here I have, because I already had uploaded it. So because I uploaded it the second time, you could see the /1 there, but I'm just going to reference the old file. So, so it gets stored in the DBFS. So distributed file store, tables, Hamlet. So this is a text data. So if I want to take a look at the top 5 lines, then I can do your map and reduce. So mapping, uh, looking at the length of each line and then reducing by doing the summation. This is to get the total number of characters in my hamlet.txt. So this is giving me 1374, right? So you can go ahead and look at how it goes ahead and executes. So it's fairly straightforward. So I'm just going to go ahead. So then you define user defined with map. So you are creating a trans function which lowers it, splits it, right? So if I want to look at each of the individual words, okay, so um, here what is happening is you're mapping. So first it takes all the string. So each line is considered a particular row. So it first does lowercasing and then splits. So you get a list of lists, right? That's essentially what you get. Whereas if you want to get a single list, you can do a flat map, right? So flat map essentially removes the list of list and does the entire list. So the take, I'm only looking at the top 15. So so usually in a data set, this is not going to give you the entire data set. So, and typically you are dealing with data which are terabytes in volume. Remember that. Okay, so then you can do all of your, if you are working on some NLP kind of application, natural language processing, you want to skip some of the words, then you can do a filter, right? So this is an example of filtering. So then all of the skip words, right? The stop words, other ways that are normally called, are all filtered out, right? And then if you want to take a distinct count of the words. So this is for text data. So you can also load your CSV file, right? So, so here we have a zip code.csv. All right. So I'm just looking at zip underscore RDD. Um, so what type is it? It's PySpark RDD type. So there is another function called dir, which actually gives you all of the attributes inside the RDD, right? These are the attributes that are available. So you can actually go and look at what are all the attributes. So you can combine by key, context, count, approximate, distinct, count by key, count by value. So many of these different attributes are there. Okay, so you can explore them. So if I want to count how many of my zip code, how many rows does it have? 22. So very quickly, I'm going to show you the zip code file, right? So this is your zip code. So yes, it has 22 rows in it. So if I'm taking the first row, so that is the header row. So here I'm doing another map transformation. Okay, so this is your transformation, and the collect does the action for you, right? So here we are mapping, we are splitting on the comma, right? And then on each of the row, you're creating a list of rows. So this is what. So you're creating a list of lists. So of course you can write it as a multi-line command as well. So you're all aware of how Python you can write multi-line, right? So rdd.map split. Then you filter off the first row because that's your header row. Then go ahead and map. I want only certain columns out of it. And then I'm doing a collect, right? So what are the columns? Record number, location, and total wages. So if you look at it, so location, it's giving you only PR, TX, etc. Whereas if you go and look at your zip code file itself, location is this column, this value, right? Because it has a comma within. So, because we are doing split by comma, it is just using the comma, and it is not giving you the whole column. So, how do we manipulate that? So, there is this this is something very important if you are working on textual data, regular expressions, right? So, we are creating a bunch of delimiters for our comma. So you can go and look up regular expression. It is very, very powerful for manipulating text. It will look for patterns in the text. It will look for what are the things a text should start with, end with, what kind of patterns it can have. It's very powerful actually. So please do take a look if that's of interest to you. So we are creating a comma delimiter to show that comma, where all should it occur in order for it to split. Okay. So this is the function we are, we are creating. So this is called, so we are importing this library called regular expression, right? And doing, we are creating, so this is considered a regular expression. This string is called a regular expression. So there is a lot of rules that are put into it. So I'm not going to explain the regular expression itself. Okay, so I'm going to let that be an activity that you can do by yourself. So here we are doing delimitation. So exactly the same thing. And now if I look at what's happening, so now I get the entire location, right? So as part of this week, so go ahead and explore in the data sets, right? So I've given you a string data hamlet.txt, a CSV data. So we'll do more of Spark SQL in the next lesson, but I want you to explore how you can work on RDD, and in fact, there is also data frame and data set in Spark. Go ahead and explore those things. So, in spirit of exploration, I have given you two assignments to complete as part of this week. So, I want you to write the Spark program or the Spark snippet of program, Python code, really. Whether given a keyword exists in a huge text file or not. So, you have a Hamlet file. So, check if the word apple exists in the Hamlet. does the word outrageous exist in HubNet? Okay, so if it exists, it should return found, or else it should return not found. So go ahead and try that out. The second one is more of a filter exercise. So from the Spark zip code file, so return rows from the zip underscore RDD where location type is primary. So go ahead and locate which column is location type and zip code type as PO box. Okay, so I want you to filter rows, and columns are record number, zip code type, location type, latitude, longitude, world, region, and location text. Okay, so these are functions that I would like you to take a look at. Okay, so please do try this out. Try out the RDD lab. Get comfortable with the data bricks interface. So after you have finished, you can actually do an export. So you can export as a DBC archive, or you can export as an IPython notebook, or you can export as HTML, right? So you can submit. So I am going to ask you all to submit as a HTML file, right? So you can all export as a HTML file. So if you do export, so it's going to download as a HTML file. All right. Thank you. I will see you in the next video.